What's going on, everybody? David here, back with another video. So we're going to do a stimulus package, stimulus check update. We're going to take a look and a listen to Congressman Scalise, and we're also going to listen to President Biden. He's going to talk a little bit about the PPP program. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please hit the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Congressman Scalise. So Congressman Scalise, he is the minority whip. And what that means is he's in leadership when it comes to the House. And his job is to count votes. He needs to find out how many votes he has for or against a bill. That's pretty much what the whip's job is. Also, if the minority leader, so if McCarthy is not available, then he can step in for him because he's in leadership. And so that is his role. So when you're looking at the Republicans in the House, he's in the leadership. And so when you're in the leadership, you have a lot of sway when it comes to what happens. And so I just want you to hear how he feels about this next stimulus package. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Now that bill, which it looks like they're poised to pass without any Republican support, has, it seems in the polling, overwhelming support across the country. Look at the latest Quinnipiac poll. 68% support the bill, 24% oppose. Biden may not have any Republicans in Congress on board, but he must, according to the polling anyway, have a lot of Republicans across the country in favor of what he's trying to do.
Well, John, you don't have to be a good pollster in Washington to ask the question, hey, would you like the federal government to send you a $3,500 check? Of course, the answer is going to be yes. If you said, do you want us to borrow that money from your children? Because that's what this is. I think their answer might be a lot differently. And especially if you told them a fact that there's over $1 trillion of money unspent from previous relief bills that were bipartisan. The money's still sitting in a bank account. And we're going to pass $1.9 trillion of additional spending to bail out failed states, to raise the minimum wage. What does that have to do with COVID? It should be focused on helping families and small businesses who are struggling, not bankrupting our children.
So he said a few different things there, but this is how he feels. Okay, so this is how leadership in the House, they feel about another stimulus package. And when you're talking about small business and helping families, I totally agree with that. Why aren't you doing it? If you have $1 trillion sitting in a bank account somewhere, why is it sitting in a bank account and not helping the American people? That would be my question. The reason why it's sitting in a bank account is because they can't spend it, because it was earmarked for certain things and they can't spend the money. That's the reason why it's sitting in a bank. That's why they can't just take it out, that $1 trillion. Why can't you take that out and give us more stimulus checks or more money for the PPP program? So that was the first thing. He's talking about the $1 trillion sitting in a bank. A lot of that money can't be spent. Okay, so we have the $1.9 trillion. That's the new package that they're looking at. Obviously, he's not for that. He's against it. And when it comes to the American people, if you are representing the American people, then you need to represent the American people. If they want this is something you should be pushing for. And if you think, okay, well, their children are going to have to pay for this, well, then that's the information that you need to get out to them. And if you can't get that information out, if they still want it, then it's your job to get. And it's really interesting that he's talking about money here, because in the Trump administration, they did a tax cut. That tax cut was $2 trillion. And a lot of that money went to corporations. And so when he's talking about your kids are going to have to pay for this, what was going on there? So, I mean, you really have to listen to these politicians and know where they're coming from. He's obviously not on board for another stimulus package, and he's in the leadership in the House. So you can bet that the majority of Republicans are not going to go for this next stimulus package regardless. And that's one of the reasons why budget reconciliation is the way to go. There's no reason to negotiate, because they're already telling you, they're showing their hand. They're telling you, we don't want this. We don't want our children to have to pay for this. So let's go ahead and listen to President Biden here. He's going to talk a little bit about the PPP program. Here we go.
This pandemic, 400,000 small businesses have closed. 400,000. And millions more are hanging by a thread. Today, I'm announcing additional changes to the PPP program that will make sure we look out for the mom and pop businesses even more than we already have. The Paycheck Protection Program is a bipartisan effort Democrats and Republicans helped pass it. But Democrats and Republicans have also voiced concerns about improving it. With their input, that's what we're doing in our administration, improving it. In the last month, we've increased the share of funding for small businesses with fewer than 10 employees by nearly 60%. For businesses in rural communities, the share of funding is up nearly 30% since we came to office. It's my hope that as Democrats and Republicans who have backed the PPP program, that Democrats and Republicans will back the American Rescue Plan. The vast majority of the American people, more than 70% of the American people, including a majority of Republicans, want us to act based on all the polling data, act big and act quickly. I understand we're not going to get our economy back in shape and the millions of people back to work until we beat this virus. Getting our economy back means bringing our small businesses back. And that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm doing today. We're going to focus. The program ends at the end of March, but for the next 2 weeks, the only folks who can apply for that PPP money are businesses with fewer than 20 employees.
So there's the president, and I think this is a good thing. So he's saying the only people who can apply for the PPP program right now for the next 2 weeks are businesses that have less than 20 employees or 20 employees or less. So I think that's good. That's the way to go, because now all these big companies, they can't apply for it, but they're going to let the smaller mom and pop places apply first, and so they can get the loans first. I think that's the way to go. I think that's the way they should have done it the last time. We did see the last time that you saw some real big companies, corporations, getting PPP funding, and then a lot of the small mom and pop restaurants and businesses weren't able to get in on some of this loan money. So I think that's the right way to go about it. So where are we right now? So we have this week, hopefully the House will vote. They've already indicated that they will be voting on this next stimulus package. It's either going to be Friday or Saturday. They might even work on Saturday to vote on this. I don't know why they can't do it earlier. We all know what's in the bill now. So it's one of those situations where it just seems like they're delaying things. If they're not making any changes, then this is something that could be brought to the floor tomorrow. So we'll have to see, but the plan is for them to get this done by the end of the week, and then we'll move into next week. The Senate will have the bill, and once they have the bill, then they're going to have to figure out how they're going to handle it. Are they going to put it in committees first and then move to vote? But we're looking at that target date of March 14th. March 14th is when everything needs to be done so the president can sign off on it. So we'll have to see how they go about that. And also, I want to mention the Instagram giveaway. So it's going to be a Cash App giveaway. Just reminding you guys, if you are not on my Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I also have a link. So if you click on the link in the description, it will give you all the rules and everything like that. So you want to click on that link, answer a few questions. It'll give you the rules to the giveaway. And so hope to see you guys there. I've seen a lot of, we've got at least 300, I think about 300 new followers just overnight. So I really appreciate that. And it's kind of cool because now I get to kind of see faces and stuff. I don't really see your face. And so it's kind of cool to be able to see different faces. And in most cases, if you want me to follow you back, just let me know. All you have to do is send me a message, say something to me, and usually I will follow you back as well. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, comment down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.